ગુડ મોર્નિંગ ઓલ ઓફ યુ. સો જે પ્રીવિયસ લેક્ચર જે હતો આપણો બરાબર છે, તો એમાં આપણે વેરિયસ ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર પ્રોજેક્ટ્સ બરાબર છે અને ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર ઇન ઇન્ડિયા વિશે વાત કરી હતી, લાઈક દિલ્હી મુંબઈ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલ કોરિડોર પ્રોજેક્ટ, રિવર લિંકિંગ પ્રોજેક્ટ, સાગરમાલા પ્રોજેક્ટ. ઓકે, સો આઈ હોપ તમને બધું યાદ હશે. બરાબર છે. સો આજે આપણે આ ચેપ્ટરનો લાસ્ટ ટોપિક આપણે ડિસ્કસ કરીએ, ચેલેન્જીસ બિફોર સિવિલ એન્જિનિયરિંગ ફ્રેટર્નિટી. બરાબર છે કે ભાઈ સિવિલ એન્જિનિયરિંગ માં સૌથી મેઇન challenges કયા કયા હોય છે, બરાબર. So first is the population growth, second is the urbanization, third is the energy use and the global warming, fourth is the water scarcity, and the fifth is the waste management. Okay, so first is the population. According to United Nations, the world population into 2050 will be 9.6 billion. Currently, 80 million people are being added every year in less developed country, compared with about 1.6 million in more developed country. So United Nations નું એક સ્ટેટિસ્ટિક ના અકોર્ડિંગ કે 2050 સુધીમાં વર્લ્ડની પોપ્યુલેશન 9.6 બિલિયન થઈ જશે. કરન્ટલી 80 million peoples are being added every year in less developed countries, compared with about 1.6 million in more developed country. બરાબર. સો સૌથી મેઇન ઇશ્યુ જે છે આપણે પોપ્યુલેશન ગ્રોથ છે, કારણ કે જેમ જેમ આપણને ખબર છે કે જેમ પોપ્યુલેશન વધશે, બરાબર છે, એમ એ લોકોની જે બેઝિક નેસેસિટીઝ છે, બરાબર, એ એનું ઇન્ક્રીમેન્ટ થશે. બરાબર. લાઈક આપણે બેઝિક નેસેસિટીની વાત કરીએ તો ભાઈ રોટી કપડા ઓર મકાન, કે ભાઈ ખાવા માટે ફૂડ જોઈએ, પહેરવા માટે કપડા જોઈએ અને રહેવા માટે ઘર જોઈએ. બરાબર. સો ઇન ધ ડોમેન ઓફ ધ સિવિલ એન્જિનિયરિંગ આપણે બે મેઇન નેસેસિટી વસ્તુ પર ફોકસ કરીએ છીએ, લાઈક ફૂડ એઝ વેલ એઝ હાઉસ. બરાબર. ફૂડ મીન્સ આપણે એગ્રીકલ્ચર પર્પઝથી આપણે જોઈએ કે if we are not providing or if we are not improving our irrigation efficiency or improvise our agriculture techniques, so the world would thrive for the food. But the world population are thrived for the food. Okay, and a house. Okay, if we are not built a proper house or a proper uh, sufficient house, so the people have so the people have forcefully to live in the congested area for that living purposes. ઓકે, સો જેમ જેમ પોપ્યુલેશન વધે છે એમ એમ આપણી જે બી પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ છે, બરાબર, કે સિવિલ એન્જિનિયરિંગના જે પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ છે, જે ચેલેન્જીસ આપણને આવી રહી છે, એ એટલી ને એટલી જ વધતી જાય છે. બરાબર. તો સેકન્ડ ઇઝ અર્બનાઇઝેશન. The world's urban population is expected to increase by 2.1 billion by 2030. બરાબર. હવે what is the urbanization? બરાબર, કે બીટીબીમાં બી મેં તમને સમજાવ્યું હતું કે ક્યારે બી તમને કે ડિફરન્સ પૂછે કે what is a urban area and what is a rural area. બરાબર. તો એક સિમ્પલ ફોર્મમાં આપણે એને વાત કરી શકીએ કે urban area means that when more than 80% of the population are engaged with the non-agriculture activity. કે 80% કે એના કરતા વધારે પીપલ નોન એગ્રીકલ્ચર એક્ટિવિટીમાં એંગેજ હોય, સો દેટ ઇઝ કોલ્ડ ધ અર્બન એરિયા. અને વોટ ઇઝ અ રૂરલ એરિયા? સો વેન મોર દેન 80% ઓફ મોર પોપ્યુલેશન આર એંગેજ વિથ ધ એગ્રીકલ્ચર એક્ટિવિટીઝ, લાઈક ખેતીવાડી છે, પશુપાલન છે, ડેરી ઉદ્યોગ છે. બરાબર. સો દેટ ઇઝ કોલ્ડ ધ રૂરલ એરિયાઝ. બરાબર. સો urban area and rural area ને define કરવા માટે બહુ જ different varieties છે. Like if we are talking about in the aspect of infrastructure, so where there is a better better sanitation facilities, better water supply, better sewerage, better transportation, better healthcare infrastructures, and better education as well as better employment opportunity, it's called the urban area. બરાબર. કે જે જગ્યાએ આપણે આટલી બધી ફેસિલિટીઝ મળતી હોય સારી, so that is called the urban area. And the rural area, that there is a limited amount of the infrastructure facilities available at that portion. So બે વચ્ચેનો ડિફરન્સ તમને ખબર પડે કે what is a urban area and what is a rural area. બરાબર. So term urbanization means the people are migrating from the rural area to an urban area for better education, better health infrastructure facilities, and the better employment opportunity. It's the process of the migration is called the urbanization. The world's urban population is expected to increase by 2.1 billion by 2030, Currently, about half the world's people are living in an urban area. By 2030, urban dwellers will make up roughly 60% of the world population. It is projected that Asia and Africa will have more urban dwellers than any other continents of the world, and Asia will contain 54% of the world's urban population by 2030. So the urbanization, population growth coupled with urbanization results in the significant impact on the environment and other problems, which include increased ambient temperature, decreased air quality, increased water runoff, decreased quality of runoff water, altered weather patterns, loss of natural beauty, reduction in farmlands, and subsequent food shortage and the deforestation. Also, urbanization results in the migration of rural population to the town, thus causing an increase in the development of slum, increased population and waste, compulsion to develop infrastructure for housing the masses, educational facilities, roads and highways, healthcare, civil supplies, congestion of living spaces, traffic, etc. In addition, population growth and urbanization pose significant challenges for water resources management throughout the world. Urban population consume much more food, energy, and durable goods than rural population. The urbanization of the world's population will increase aggregate energy use. Not only do urban areas generate more rain, but also reduce the infiltration of water and lower the water tables. This means that runoff occurs more quickly with greater peak flows. Thus, flood volume increase as do floods and water pollution downstream. કે જેમ જેમ આપણી population growth and urbanization છે બરાબર, so that is a significant pose a significant challenges for water resources management throughout the world. Urban population consume much more food, energy, and durable goods than rural population. The urbanization of the world population will increase aggregate energy use. Not only do urban areas generate more rain, but also reduce the infiltration of water and lower the water table. કે એ જેટલું વધારે પાણી રેન આવી રહ્યો છે એ બધું જ પાણી ઇન્ફિલ્ટ્રેશન નહીં થાય, બરાબર, પછી બધું આગું જતું રહેશે. સો અલ્ટિમેટલી તમારું જે વોટર ટેબલ છે એ નીચે જતું રહેશે. This means that runoff occurs more quickly with a greater peak flows. Thus, flood volume increases as do floods and water pollution downstream. Energy use and the global warming. The energy consumption in India rose that threefold, putting India next only to the US, Germany, Japan, and China in total energy consumption. According to the International Energy Outlook projection for 2030 of the US Department of Energy, China and India account for nearly one half of the total increase in residential energy use in the non-OECD countries. Based on the range of scenario, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change of the United Nations predict that by the end of the 21st century, climate change will result in the following: a probable temperature rise between 1.8 degree Celsius and the 4 degree Celsius, and a possible temperature rise between 1.1 degree Celsius and 6.4 degree Celsius. A sea level rise most likely to be in the range of 28 to 43 centimeter. Disappearance of the summer sea ice in the second half of the century. A likely increase in heat waves. A likely increase in the tropical storm intensity. બરાબર, સો આટલું જે પ્રિડિક્શન થઈ રહ્યું છે કે ડ્યુ ટુ ધ ગ્લોબલ વોર્મિંગ ઇફેક્ટ કે આપણે જેટલી બી એનર્જી કન્ઝ્યુમ કરીએ છીએ તો એનાથી જે બી કાર્બન ફૂટપ્રિન્ટ્સ આપણી જનરેટ થઈ રહી છે એનાથી નેક્સ્ટ સેન્ચુરી કે ઇન ધ એન્ડ ઓફ ધ 21st સેન્ચુરી આપણને શું પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ આવી રહેશે. Water scarcity. According to the United Nations report, one person in six in without safe drinking water, and double that number, about 2.4 billion lack adequate sanitation. It is because of all the earth's water, only about 2.5% is fresh water. Three-quarter of that is locked up in glacier and permanent snow cover. Only 0.3% of water is surface water found in rivers and lakes, and thus readily accessible. Throughout the world, both the ground and surface water being used at a faster rate that is being replenished. A country is considered water scarce when its annual supply of renewable fresh water is less than 1000 meter cube per capita. Through fresh water can be extracted from seawater, it is a very expensive. Around 1500 distillation plants exist in the world, and the two leading methods are river osmosis and multi-stage flash. Saudi Arabia's desalination plants account for about 24% of the total world capacity. Waste management. Management is the collection, transport, processing, and recycling or disposal of waste material. The term usually relate to materials produced by human activity is generally undertaken to reduce the effect on health, aesthetic, or as an amenity. Waste management is also carried out to reduce the effect of the materials on the environment and to recover resources from them. Management can involve solid, liquid, or gaseous substance with different methods and processes for each of them. Various methods are used for the waste management, which include disposal, recycling, and energy recovery. The current quantum of municipal solid waste generation in India to be around 48 million tons per annum, out of which the waste from construction industry account for out of which the waste from construction industry account for about 12 to 14.7 million tons. In addition, the hazardous waste generation is around 4.4 million tons. In the future, every country would have to give importance to the energy and waste management in order to have a sustainability. So that civil engineers in present and future period are expected to create a sustainable, environment friendly, and the superior quality of life. They are expected to serve proficiently with positive teamwork, competence, collaboration, and with a great consistency as master visionaries, planners, designers, constructors, and the driver of society's infrastructure, economy, and the social engine. They should be emissary and steward of the balance in the ecosystem, nature, environment, and its resources. Civil engineering should be great innovators, assimilators, or of creative ideas and cutting edge technologies in all arenas, public, private, and academic. They should be able to generate techno economical optimal solution with minimal risk and uncertainty caused by the natural hazard and the potential threats. They should play a prominent role in shaping the infrastructure and environmental policy, ensuring maximum benefit to society in terms of cost, accessibility, and the minimum risk. Over time, the civil engineer has played a consistent demand for service, and it is expected that demand to continue. ઓકે સો અહીંયા આપણો જે લેક્ચર છે અહીંયા આપણો ચેપ્ટર કમ્પ્લીટ થાય છે બરાબર છે સો નેક્સ્ટ આપણું જે ચેપ્ટર છે આપણે નેક્સ્ટ લેક્ચરમાં જોઈશું ઓકે સો સી યુ ઇન ધ નેક્સ્ટ લેક્ચર થેન્ક યુ